So I recently went through an unbelievably major purge. It's the only word that I have to describe it. I was not functional, didn't leave the house for a week.
The Spiritual Inspired podcast. Welcome back to a new episode. Kind reminder that you can visit Gnostic TV and YouTube to watch previous interviews. My guests today are Viivika Sophia and David Maria, and I want to welcome you both again on the program.
And we are, trust me, Claudiu, we are both so happy to be here, especially after the snafu that we went through, because we forgot we had an interview with you earlier, and you very graciously and kindly rescheduled with us. So thank you.
For you anytime.
It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
And
Thank
you
you so
have Thank you. And you have to promise me that you are not going to make me cry this time.
Let's cry together.
I'm positive that we cannot make that promise, Claudiu.
But we can cry together.
Yes. And for those who watched the first interview, now you are not on a split screen, which is first you, David, traveled to Spain and reunited with Viivika, and you are running your programs and the gifts to the world from one location together. What made you take this decision?
I didn't take this decision. It was guidance. If you remember, last July she came to Mount Shasta and spent a month, and we did a retreat in that month, and it was wonderful. And I'm not going to attempt to put words in her mouth for any reason, but for me, I knew that I did not want to live apart from her. And so now we live, less than 2 kilometers away from each other, maybe 3. And we see each other like this every single day. And it was, I describe it as at one point I woke up and I realized everything that I was looking at in my house in Mount Shasta, none of it was mine. And I was just waiting for the people that it really belonged to come and say, that's mine, and give me a little bit of money for it in exchange. And it was the easiest thing that I can imagine, to just walk away. And as I flew here, I completely untethered from all of my previous life. It was still connected to people and friends, yes, but not to a place, not to a concept, not to a belief. Just let go and go into something completely and totally unknown that I had no idea what it was going to be like to be here. I'd never been to Spain before. So just following the guidance of my heart.
Yeah. And Viivika, how it is for you to have David so close and intertwine your energies physically, not only through the expansion of the ocean and a continent.
Everything have been really amplified right now. It was really amplified when I went to Mount Shasta already, and then we felt this huge shifting and expansions, and for me it have been also like this really strong magnetic pull that pulled us together right now to this to this place, to Spain. and we internally we going through really deep transformational period right now after David came here. Well, it's constant, of course, but right now it's just so have been really amplified. It's this inner pole shift. Because when we came together like two polarities, the mother side of the world, it had been like it's like supernova within us. So
it's kind of more like this. It's instead of like this, it's more like
yeah, that is true.
and then kaboom.
It's this love light within us, outside of us, and within us. It's have been really amplified right now. It's sometimes it's really beautiful. It's really amazing. Sometimes also like internally challenging. It's physically challenging.
But those are more just everything is so moving so quickly right now.
Yeah, it's just part of journey.
The body is just going to be stressed. It's okay. It's just part of the process of what it is to embody our soul into a body.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned to you in a previous email that my body is being stressed right now through the pull and push of energy through the Arcturian Council of Light, and I go through this workout, I call it, pretty much every night, and every time is a little bit different. Some movements are the same, but I keep adding new things, and I assume that the body has to adapt to new energetic level, to new vibrations, in order for me to be able to absorb and be in service with what I supposed to do.
Every single cell, and doesn't matter what's in there, it's going to be cleansed. So I recently went through an unbelievably major purge. It's the only word that I have to describe it. I was not functional. Didn't leave the house for a week because I couldn't. I couldn't. Everything was just being completely reorganized within me. And in hindsight, it was really wonderful. It wasn't always pleasant in that moment. Sometimes it's not, but it's on the other side. Once it's completed, it's always wonderful.
It's amazing. Yes, it's this transcendental love, this different states of love that's opening up right now. It's just beyond of any description. And this is all us. This is who we truly are.
Yes, and I also have to accept that there are nights when I'm so tired that I cannot go through the meditation. So I have to accept, okay, that's the integration time. Slow down, don't be anxious, just go with the flow. And there are not too many nights, but I have to go through that process. Now I understand that I have to, let go and just do the integration.
Yeah. Last night I just literally collapsed into sleep, and I slept. I was in bed almost 12 hours with no dreams, which is really unusual for me. It was just the body catching up. And I have been more than once have been known to say, sheesh, I need to take a nap to rest up from sleeping last night, because there was so much activity and work going on.
Yeah, and the sleeping is really active state. It's not any number. It's really unusual that you are collapsing and just sleeping all night long. And for me, it's also really unusual because we working hard in the night also. We all right now, we becoming this embodiment of this solar consciousness, which is pure love, the purest form of love in this, not anymore in this so physical form, but still in form. And this is sometimes it's really intensive because we also feeling all this solar activity within our body when our heart turning into stargate, and sometimes it's really intense. It's like this burst of solar plasma in the middle of the night. It's really strong radiation, and it feels in every cell of body, and it's not. It still feels like heat, but it's not really burning anymore. It's not like this inner fire that first starting to amplify in our hearts, but it still woke us up in the middle of the night when we're feeling that. And
And
this
Viivika, do you feel like you are changing your DNA into crystalline DNA?
Beyond that,
yes, and beyond that, yeah, it's just infinite expansion, and this transcendental states of love, what we are, what we're embodying. This is this infinite. Right now it's just came and go. Total emptiness. Sorry, what I wanted to say is God. Just love, transcendental love. There is no borders. It's just infinite expansion, infinite freedom. The more we becoming embodiment of this love, the more free we are, and there is no limitations. It's really beautiful.
the deeper aspect of crystalline DNA is that as we go through this process, we go through a process of compression. It's the only way that I can, that's the only word that I've ever felt is close to applicable. And that compression is identical to a stone under pressure in the earth and eventually becoming a diamond. And that's the next in the deeper phase of crystalline DNA, is that it becomes diamond. In other words, it becomes absolutely perfect and radiant.
And when we're talking about sun consciousness, it's in the core of our heart, our stargate of the heart is this diamond sun, which is purest love light. That already radiates this purest love light, and the very core of this diamond sun is a source point. So this is what we're becoming when our heart stargate is fully activated, and this is our true essence.
And
Sun consciousness in form.
and a question for any one of you or either of you, are you conscious that your strands of DNA or additional strands of DNA are being activated through this process?
Yes, absolutely. We've shared multiple classes on diamond DNA.
That's beautiful. And David, because you mentioned Mount Shasta, and we all know about the energies and how special that place is, how did you feel the energy of Spain when you moved to that location compared to Mount Shasta?
There is no real comparison that can be made. The places that Viivika has taken me since I've been here, because I no longer have a vehicle because I sold everything in order to come here. That the land here is ancient and very sacred, depending upon the place that you are, and it's like a breath of fresh air for me. Everything that I needed to do in relation to why I was in Mount Shasta was complete. I could not have gone to Shasta had the mountain not accepted me and invited me to come. And in reverse, I could not leave until she released me and said, "You've done everything. Now it's time for the next phase."
Beautiful.
And part of that was a complete release, a complete untethering from everything of my previous life, except for the people. All of the energies of, literally that's another incarnation that's no longer applicable anymore.
And it's even when we are traveling different places, it's we are embodying all of our different aspects and everything what we are, and it includes also Mother Earth. We are not only living on the Mother Earth, we are part of this Mother Earth. We are
her.
We are her, yes, exactly. And all these places is also within us. And it's just one thought, one feeling, and we are already connected. And even, yes, there is this outer reflection also, and it's beautiful to travel and go to these places also, but we always connected with these places where we already have been in physical, but also just they are part of ourselves always.
Yes, it's a beautiful time to be alive. And to stay on the subject of Mount Shasta and you two running a program together, can you share with us exactly what happened during your Wisdom of the Elder shamanic journey that you two held at Mount Shasta a while back?
It wasn't held in Mount Shasta, and that course came about because we spent more than a few days in the Redwood forest over at Crescent City on the Northern California coast, and we were both completely transformed just by being in their presence. And redwoods and sequoias and other really ancient trees around the world, trees that live to longer than 1,000 years. They are the pinnacle of the plant or the vegetable kingdom. And if you think of redwoods that are 1,000 years old, for that entire time, every night, they are absorbing the starlight that comes, and they have the ability to hold it and retain it inside themselves. And they release it in the presence of humans and gift it to us. Whether or not the people around them are receptive to those energies, or whether they just know that they feel good to be in a forest like this, that there's no way that you can talk about each individual in terms of how they receive it. But we were completely transformed. It just, the first day that we were in the forest, I couldn't look up. If I looked up like this, I would immediately become dizzy and begin to fall down. I was incredibly vertically challenged, which is ironic that you're in the presence of these immense beings that are completely and totally grounded through these large columns of light to the center of the earth, and I couldn't ground in their presence until the next day. And after that, then that particular class just began to come through both of us. It began to write itself in terms of what that journey was going to be, because it wasn't just about the redwoods. It was much bigger, much deeper than just the redwoods.
And when David talked about this vertigo, because many of these elder trees also have a function as stargates and portals. So energies was really amplified when we went there, and I just I cried when we went there, and I cried when we lived there, because it was like feeling that we met our really old friends. It was so beautiful. and so amazing energies. But it started already before, when we went to Redwoods, when we saw this bear. Do you remember? When during this retreat, we saw a bear, and then this elder started to connect with us. And one transmission what we did, I spoke a light, and when we're doing transmission, it's always this one flow, and it's flowing through both of us. But even when I speak light or when he is speaking, it's of course we have a little bit different qualities and different gifts, but it's always both of us involved. And this time it was really interesting that these elders, also our aspects, came through, and I spoke a light, and very first time I felt something like that also David, the different aspects of David came through, and like shamanic self, and this really strong masculine energy, and my voice changed, and
Her voice became like this. Literally,
it was really
became
different
like
experience. It's like he came through me also, and it's real strong masculine energies, and yeah, they started to come through this, and they had a really beautiful message for us, all of us, that we need to strengthen our roots, and we need to strengthen our roots in this what we calling the soil of new earth, which is divine love. That and in this course we dissolve this all this everything what we build as our foundational energy before, and we rooted ourselves into this new earth, into this new energy, into divine love, because many of us have built the foundation, as we also all did. Our foundational energy was, for example, our root trauma, that and based on this root trauma we built our identity, and it was based on fear and control, and right now everything is dissolving, which is not based on this unconditional which is very foundational energy. Foundational energy.
Yeah.
And what Viivika mentioned earlier is really, really present in terms of the energies right now, and that is the ongoing internal pole shift that is happening with anybody that has built a strong foundation at this point. This is not beginner level stuff. This is mastery level things, and lots of people are going through this to where everything has shifted. Our brains become scrambled. All of the neurons that have connections to places in our body, they're like cut loose. Left is right, right is left, up is down, down is up, front is back, back is front. Everything is spinning constantly.
And connecting with art.
And we're experiencing disorientation, dizziness. Sometimes when I'm out walking, like we were walking yesterday, and felt these energies really, really incredibly strongly. And I can't walk in a straight line. I stumble, I weave. I'm quite certain that if you looked at me as just an outside observer, you might think that I was a little inebriated, even though I haven't had any alcohol in more years than I can count. It's just everything of our old is letting go. It's as if we have completely jumped off the cliff and are experiencing that expression that a Buddhist Lama says The bad news is that we're falling. And the good news is there's nothing below us to catch us. We're just falling through an infinite void. And there is no orientation when you're in a void of space. Which way is up?
Yes.
There's no orientation. Everything has been cut loose. It's as if my brain is just spinning inside this skull and trying to figure out if it can, and I don't feel it can reorient itself. It's going to rebalance however it rebalances.
Yeah, and we're losing ourselves in love to find ourselves in love. And then we're realizing that we are this love.
Yes, we really have to shed certain identity and take on the identity, as you said, Viivika, the identity of love and God and be in service. And do you think that through this full transformation we are going through, tapping into ancient wisdom teachings will help us recalibrate and be more balanced, or we are looking at totally new rules and energies that we really have to adjust to?
It's like the both, because we're releasing a lot of old, but there is also this fundamentation or fundamental teachings that's still relevant in these new energies also, but they're both merging together as one. all and yes, this is what I feel, that there is lots of, for example, I was also a yoga teacher, and right now I feel that many of this teaching also not relevant anymore in new energies, but some of them, some foundational things are still applicable in these energies also. So we, as we all know, our chakra system is changing. It's not same anymore. And for example, this pushing, pulling techniques, it's more allowing. It's more this wave-like movements, and then there's cannot be anymore any control. So it's changing, and same time we embodying also this ancient wisdom that's still based on this love and love fun. So this is how I feel perceive this, because it's we were embodying our ancient aspects of ourselves. So it's really stronger right now coming through. So, and it's opening up this remembrance and wisdom what we have been, and same time it's also like lifting and opening up more wide perspectives, more new and unknown, and it's coming through us right now. And there is so many moments also when we with David also we don't know how to describe this new experience. We don't know what it is.
We try sometimes desperately to find words that might be able to at least convey a resonance to another person, and sometimes we just break out into laughter because it so far there's the language is, it's trying to describe something that's completely ineffable and it can't be described. The only point of reference that is really there is, say, speaking with you, that you have that same reference inside of yourself. And because you do, there is a resonance that exists between the three of us. And therefore, even though we can't talk about it accurately with words, the energy stream coming through, which is the telepathy side of us, it conveys it perfectly. So even though the words may not be there, we end up understanding each other perfectly.
Yes.
And yeah, it is this new states of consciousness. It is this feeling state that sometimes we're just sitting and looking to each other's eyes, and there is more knowingness than we ever can give with our words. So
It's interesting because I was thinking about the skill of telepathy, and we as humans like to talk so much. Sometimes we just can't stop. So I was thinking the moment we're gonna get that feature back, are we going to be able to keep our mouth shut and just communicate telepathically? That I think will be a challenge.
I suppose it depends on the person. What has happened to me since coming to Spain, and it's become more amplified since I have arrived here, is that you'll notice that my way of talking, I stop a lot, I pause a lot, sometimes excessively. So if her and I are having a conversation, she will think that I'm done, and I'm really just beginning. And that's because there's so much stillness that is present. And that's what the communication really is the stillness. It's like in Japanese culture, in Zen Buddhism, there's the concept of Ma, which is the stillness, the energy field that surrounds everything. And what is not there is as important as what is there. And you see it reflected in their concepts of beauty, in terms of minimalism, in terms of the design of homes, or in terms of interpersonal communications. I'm quite certain it becomes challenging to listen to me sometimes, because oftentimes you don't know that I'm done, or if I'm just beginning, because the stillness is so present, and I'm still learning. Learning may not be a correct word. I'm still in the process of just being with that energy in such a way that it's hopefully more comfortable for others to be around it.
Yes.
And I feel so similar also, because I talking faster, but sometimes there is this total emptiness. There is no words, and then and sometimes it's what I wanted to say, it's just gone, and there is still this transmission, but there is no words, and this is our true and new language, becoming this heart language of heart. And most of the time we perceive this energy, this transmission in stillness. So very often when we're speaking, also communicating with David, and that I cannot find the proper words to express what I want to express. He just feels into this energy.
And when she can't find that words, it's not because it's not because of her use of the English language. That's not the reason.
Sometimes it's easy.
But that's in terms of what you were describing. I don't feel that that's the reason. Yeah, sometimes you don't know what the word is, but the predominant thing is that all of a sudden, what you were feeling, what was coming through your voice, just drops into stillness, and the words just disappear, and you're just present.
And this is this new way of communication, and I also felt many times when we're communicating with certain people, and we're just sitting, and sometimes when I'm holding my friend's hand and we're just sitting and looking into each other's eyes, and there is such a strong transmission and communication, and we're both crying and feeling that, and there is no words necessary to say anything.
Yes, feelings are much more powerful than words, because those who reach a certain level of consciousness always say that language is very cannot portray the feelings, cannot portray the beauty of love and God and everything else that we cannot perceive with the naked eye.
Agreed.
Exactly. There is no
David,
words to describe.
we know your story about being drawn to Kenya and you being initiated there as a 13 elder. Do you feel the pull to the same location anytime soon, and also taking Viivika with you?
I've asked her to go with me. It's complicated. Yes, I probably will always feel the call to return to Mount Kirinaga, to Mount Kenya. It's a huge part of my heart. It's a huge part of who I am. And yes, I definitely wish to return there. And there's nobody that I would rather go there with than her. We will see.
At the same time, we're living in this now moment, so
In this now moment, in what is, no matter how it presents, this is the moment that is.
I have a friend who is perfect example how to live in this now moment, and he has his water bottle and there is signed best day ever, and he really lives in this way that this is his moment, this is the best day ever. New experience, new fresh day. To start over and over and over, every moment is new and fresh. It's so beautiful.
I have gratitude engraved on my blue water bottle. So I try to live each day with gratitude for what I'm being offered. So that's another aspect, of how we can live.
Yeah.
We live in this moment. We don't try and change the moment. We live in the moment as the moment. And if there's something we need to deal with, there's something we need to deal with. If we need to respond, we respond. But we don't try and make it something that it's not. No, I'm sorry. I'd rather not experience that. It's what is.
And only in this now moment we are connected with our true self, with source, with love. So then only in this now moment everything gets fading away, and we feel this true connection with everything.
So, in other words, even if you are so close to many sacred sites in Europe, like UK, Ireland, Bosnia, even Romania, you are going to just wait and feel and see in which direction will the energy will pull you through before you make a decision to travel?
When we're talking about this now moment, then in this now moment there is sometimes coming ideas through. even they are related to next now moment, as to spring, for example.
So I want to go to. I've never been to Europe before. I've been to England, but I never really got out of London. And I want to go everywhere. I want to go to all of those places. I want to experience the energies that are there. But that's not this moment. In this moment, it's concentrating on the next classes and courses that are coming through, because that's the guidance in this particular moment. And we're working to be able to, at least once a week, travel someplace that's a reasonable distance from here. And we have a new 5-week course that will begin on December 12th on a Friday, so that we can take advantage of the 12-12-12 date. And the second class that we're going to offer in that particular course, because it is 5 weeks, we're going to travel to Alhambra in Granada, and to be able to visit the palace there, which is an incredibly beautiful and sacred and special place. That's the next larger journey that we're going to take, because that will be a multi-day journey. But for now, we take day trips someplace to nature, or someplace to a sacred place. What doesn't matter what it is. We went to an incredibly beautiful church hewn out of solid rock yesterday, next to a river, and it was magnificent. The energy was just phenomenal. So,
And David, the course you mentioned is that the dragon's breath becoming the breath of creation of love?
no, that the Dragon's Breath class begins tomorrow. And that actually is a foundation to the next course, which will follow, which the Dragon's Breath is just one class. And I'll defer to Viivika and let her speak about this new course, because it's truly incredible.
It's all about, again, embodiment process also, and about divine union with source, which is divine love. So in this new course, we're just diving more deeper and deeper into this different states of consciousness and different states of this union between our masculine, feminine energy, unification, divine union between our energies and between source, and with all that is, and everything is source, everything is love. So just opening up more deeper to these different levels.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
That's available right now to us. So
And in each one of these, in the Dragons class, and then the Divine Union class, and the class that comes after that, which we have not announced yet, there are breath techniques in terms of working with breath to connect deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper inside of ourselves with source and as source, to where we just dissolve. And we're both really incredibly excited, is not the word, but just so looking forward to sharing what has come through, because really that's all the courses and classes that we offer is what comes through us. We have experienced it and embodied it in us, and then it demands that we share it with others.
And when we're talking about this breath of creation or dragon breath, then when our true heart are fully activated, our higher heart, and connected with the heart of creation, with a heart of Divine Mother or feminine aspect of Source, then our breathing changes. We're starting to breathe through our heart, and this breath that flowing through us, this is united breath. The both of our feminine and masculine aspects are connected with a Godhead, and this breath is this pure form of divine love that flowing through our heart when we are breathing. When we're breathing in, we're breathing in all of creation, all of our old creation. We're dissolving these old energies, and when we're breathing out this fresh new energies, this new level of love, like new light goes. So it's really not only in really deep internal process, but it's also changing our physical realities, our life.
As in, it's changing every cell in our body.
So we are changing our at the molecular level. Does this imply that our diet will also change and we have to adapt to a much more natural or liquid type of diet?
Who knows? It's probably going to be unique for each individual. It may be that, just like in the Old Testament, we start to live on mana. We just live on prana. That we no longer need the sustenance that the physical body used to have, because the body is just it's just a holographic projection of our consciousness. And as our consciousness raises, things will change, whatever they are. Right now, I'm exemplifying the quote, the answer that somebody gave, Matt Kahn gave to a question he asked him. Somebody asked him, "Why are you here?" And he said, "For the food, of course."
Yes. And there are more and more people living on prana these days, and not to disturb the energy field we created with a joke, but I think the politicians should be pleased that we can feed on mana, so they don't have to worry about, climate change and anything else.
I have so very little awareness of that aspect of the world of this world. I hardly pay attention to it at all.
Yes.
So I'll accept it as a joke. When it comes to politics, my opinion is that politicians should not be allowed to make any decision heavier than where to put the sidewalks. And even then, they'll probably mess that up.
No, I agree. You're totally right, for sure. David, Viivika, these days I personally see a lot of souls leaving this planet. And what I heard from channelers and other people who are spiritually connected is that they just cannot take and sustain the energy and the turmoil of what's coming up, and they decided to leave. Do you have any insight into this type of departure?
This is always choice of soul.
Yeah.
And usually we making this choice before we're coming here. And it's always about our lessons. So sometimes this lesson done why we came here. So
and we don't leave. We just go back into the soul that we are. Nobody goes anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no place to go. It's always here and now. And in some cases, it's nobody leaves 1 second before their moment. And some people, as Viivika so eloquently said, some people they finish, they're done with everything that they came here to do, and they withdraw inwardly again. Some are destined to stay and walk through no matter what it is, because that's why we're here. That's why we came.
and of course it is more and more challenging stay here, the more we have still this resistance within us, because it's the more we fighting with outer world, the more we feeling the separation, and then the more we have this judgment within us, the more challenging it's going to be. So we need to release all these different expressions of separation as judgment also, because there is no others. When we are judging others, it is internal process. We have still have this inner fight within us, and this unification in our course. What we're also teaching this new course, that how to bring all of our parts back into our heart and love them unconditionally. Because if we still have, if we still feel the separation, that we feel that there is some people who doing something wrong, and we don't like this, or we don't like that, and we still don't have this neutrality within our hearts, and we're not in this, we are not embodied this neutral observer within us. It is challenging. And this is how we're helping with this guidance with coming through us and with our courses to help to dissolve that.
Yes, and
maintain this total freedom and coming with that.
yeah, and
The more you're in resistance to what is, the more you bind yourself to it. And therefore, the more difficult it becomes to actually let go of it.
And all attachments also, when we have attachment to physical world, to different places, to different people, all this dissolving.
And remember, reality isn't. It's not real.
It doesn't mean that we don't care, we care more, but we just don't carry this baggage anymore. It's total freedom.
Yeah, I cannot make myself so unhappy enough that it makes somebody else feel better about themselves. Doesn't
Yes.
work that way.
yeah,
This is what coming a lot through dream states right now. I see a lot of dreams about releasing this baggage, and it is collective also, that we throwing away all these luggages that we had, all this old, and dissolving that.
She dives really, through her dreams, she dives really deep into the collective deeper than anybody I've known. It's literally amazing to watch the work that she does.
Beautiful. I mean, I have my own tests in terms of being triggered and judgment. And to be honest with you, I have to let go of a lot of things, and politicians is what I go by because, as you, David, said, they shouldn't do more than just small, trivial jobs for us. So that's, to me, the moment I think at one and I don't react, he doesn't or she doesn't trigger me, I know that I reached the next level. So again, this is my test, litmus test, in terms of how much I advance in terms of judgment and letting go.
And if you look to the political world for that, you'll get triggered and tested a lot.
It's a challenge indeed.
I just think of it as more like a circus than anything. They've just forgotten that really and truly they're here just like the rest of us. They're here to be in service,
Yes.
not to serve themselves.
They are in service also in their own level of consciousness, because if we're looking from the higher perspective, the thing that we're judging as negative, they're usually not. there is no negative and positive. We all have our own roles, our really unique and important roles in this world. So
Every one of us is on our own journey of our soul.
Viivika, does Divine Mother have any message for us as a conclusion to this interview? If possible, of course.
if it's okay for you and Claudiu, then I speak a little bit light also.
Please, please.
And we, as always, it is transmission that coming through both of us.
It always flows through both of us at the same time.
Yeah.
She just gets to share it in light. So when I do it and I speak words, it doesn't have the purity that it does when she speaks light. Light is the purest form of translating the transmission energy that comes through that there is, and she does it so incredibly beautifully.
It is combination of light and sound, and combination of, there is always both energies present. Even when it's coming through the mother, there is also this aspect of father. They're never separated from each other. So,
Never.
as we are never separated. Thank you. Just feel your infinite heart, which is connected with all other hearts, and which is never separated from the heart of Mother, from the heart of creation. Sikirata sengaratono mohat kinakatam. Atukuro tairanak sakrei kurshunak samikarat sakiwatamam. Ashashya asamakatakeya mahat kanaketakaya mahataya. Now feel how our dear Mother Earth, connecting with your heart and feel simultaneously that you, as divine child, you are not disconnected from the Mother Earth. You are always one with her. Feel how you are held by her. And feel this infinite love that flowing from her heart, from your heart, and how you are connected through this love with all creation. And feel how you as love flowing through all creation. And feel this wave of love the formlessness, your true self. Feel how you are connected with the sounds of all creation, with primordial sounds, with infinite light. With infinite flow of love. And we can call this also unity. And keep this truth in your heart. You are the highest truth of love. which is source. Thank you, dear hearts. Infinite blessings and love. Thank you.
Thank you, Viivika. Thank you, Divine Mother. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
For
Claudiu.
holding space for us.
We all
Beautiful.
did that. Thank you for all of you.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the program. I will let everyone know about your upcoming courses. I will post on my social media so people will be aware about your offerings and your work. And much gratitude and love from me for everything you are doing.
Thank you, Claudiu. And we will announce publicly the Divine Union course that starts December 12th. We'll announce that this Sunday.
Perfect. Thank you once again. All the best.
We're still finalizing some of the technical details.
Perfect. Once again, thank you very much for everything.
Thank you, Claudiu.
Thank you for having us,
Thank
Claudiu.
you.
It's always such an immense pleasure just to be with you, just to be in presence with you.
Thank you. And to my viewers, thank you for watching. Share it, leave a comment, visit gnostictv.com and spiritualinspired.ca. And until next time, love and gratitude.